Welcome to Blossom Labyrinth. In this game, we tell the story of the adventure between Lazulite and Rhodonite. From the elders in the village, Rhodonite learned about the mysterious flower, and she dragged her sister onto a trip to find the flower. In the midst of the exploration, Rhodonite went missing. And while looking for her sister, Lazulite fell to an unknown place after finding the mysterious flower. Waking up, Lazulite looked around and found a pink petal fell from Rhodonite's dress. Rhodonite must be somewhere here. Lazulite decides to look for her sister and bring her back home. As an ordinary person, Lazulite can only perform jumps and attacks. The pink petals are collectibles players can collect in their first playthrough. We also designed golden petals that are in unreachable places. In the second playthrough, or by going back to previous chapters, the players can utilize new abilities they learned in later levels to get the golden petals. With prompts, we teach the player how to defeat monsters in this place. After each flower enemy is killed, their spirit bursts out. After killing another flower enemy, its spirit flies to Lazulite. Her body absorbs the spirit and feels lighter. Now she can perform double jumps. In our game, every time Lazulite absorbs spirit from an enemy, she learns a new skill. Let's skip a few levels. This time Lazulite gets dash ability, letting her cover a longer distance or to dodge enemies' attacks. Skipping another few levels, Lazulite gets Spirit Blossom ability. Using this ability, Lazulite's spirit leaves her body and can freely move around. If she hits an enemy, her body will be teleported to her spirit, or else her spirit will come back to her body after 5 seconds. Here Lazulite meets the first boss in this level, Frog Pounder. Frog Pounder's skill is Ground Pound. It will jump to mid-air and smash down dealing damage. When it's below half health, Frog Pounder's movement gets more aggressive. By defeating the boss, Lazulite absorbs its spirit and gains Ground Pound ability. In the next chapter, the player will be utilizing this ability. This is a block that is breakable using Ground Pound. We teach the player to use this ability with visual prompts. Then we'll let the player practice using this new ability multiple times. We also have switches and blockages that are color matched. By hitting a switch with Ground Pound, the corresponding blockage lifts up. The higher Lazulite starts the Ground Pound, the higher the blockage will be lifted. The levels will get harder, requiring the players to combine the skills Lazulite learned together to master the levels, with numerous switches and special platforms. The second boss is Fast Eagle, with the ability to slow down time. In Lazulite's eye, the boss is dashing everywhere and shooting fast-moving bullets that are technically lasers when the time slows down. If Lazulite attacks the eagle, it falls down, leaving time slow, giving the player an opportunity to damage it. When Fast Eagle is below half health, it gets more aggressive, shooting lasers in a faster manner. Lazulite gets a time slow skill, killing Fast Eagle and absorbs its spirit. We teach the player to use this skill to dodge bullets, or slow down platforms to pass levels. Lazulite finally finds Rhodonite, but Rhodonite appears a bit strange and warns Lazulite not to get closer to her. After Rhodonite finds the mysterious flower, she also falls into this world. The world possesses her spirit and takes over her body to maintain its existence. Lazulite needs to defeat the spirit of the world to drive it out from Rhodonite to save her. In this fight, Rhodonite has the exact same set of skills Lazulite has obtained on her way to save her sister. The reason Lazulite obtained those skills in the first place is because she absorbed the spirit of this world after killing the monsters. After the world is defeated by Lazulite, Rhodonite regains her body and wakes up. She realized the world purposely used her as the lure to get Lazulite absorb part of the spirit. So the world can take over Lazulite's body. Now it's Rhodonite's turn to save her sister. The only way to do so is to drag Lazulite's body out of this world. Rhodonite needs to get back to the entrance. The world wouldn't allow her to leave, and starts attacking her using Lazulite's body. In this final battle, the player will control Rhodonite to go through each level backwards in reversed sequence. As they get closer to the entrance, the world's spirit gets weaker, and its body, the level, collapses. We use this mechanic to completely change how each level is played. We calculated how far and how high Rhodonite can jump, and designed the levels so that the players will need to go back and forth to find a real path going back, while Lazulite is still attacking. And with more blocks being removed, we get a chance to design harder terrains for the player to maneuver. Finally, Rhodonite gets to the entrance and leaves the world.